Okay, hi and welcome to my lab report for Lab 4 of Physics 2212. My name is Cooper Allen, this is section X21. The intro to this lab is just, the purpose of this was to predict the behavior of circuits containing resistors in series and in parallel, using multimeters to measure actual values, and to just examine the behavior of resistors and capacitors here. A few major principles we used, some of them are shown in the top right in that chart there. There's Kirchhoff's loop rule as well as his node rule, but that one's quite as helpful with this, which is just that the sum of all electric potential differences in a loop is zero, and some capacitance stuff as well. Models and assumptions, this was done in a PHYS lab, which is an ideal model because it's an online simulation. And just some assumptions due to that is that there's no resistance anywhere there shouldn't be within this, so wires don't have resistance, ammeters don't have resistance, etc. Just a preview of the results. Here's the graph that gave you the slope for the -1 over RC that you'll see later in this, that allows you to calculate what that RC was, which was 5.9988. And because I did the virtual option, everything here is pretty darn accurate. So here's some, I think the picture's in the wrong place. There's a glitch with the slides, I guess. Yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. So just the system is the circuit, surroundings are everything else. I hate this. Here are a bunch of all of my answers really to part 1 that we were expected to write down. And so you can pause and take a look at that if it really interests you. Part 2 was with the second part of the lab, with a capacitor. And here are the observations with that. That the current seems to fade as the capacitor charges and discharges. And doubling the resistance doubles the time it takes to charge the capacitor. And then you can see that the actual values were very close to the expected values, which was very nice to see. So what if I had done this with physical instrumentation? Well, I would have expected the resistance to be higher, since real wires and ammeters don't provide zero resistance. Yeah. And then, ideally, with no resistor, the capacitor would have charged instantly. In reality, that's not going to happen because, again, real wires have resistance in them, so do ammeters that we would be using to measure stuff. But it would still be very fast, it just would not be instantaneous like it was in the simulations. And yeah, again, because this was simulated, very little source of error, and something I found the ability to do actually is there's a button that lets you increment by tenths of a second, and so there was no trying to pause at the right time, it was just go forward by a time increment. I believe, God, okay, there's a weird thing with the way the slides work, but it keeps skipping some. God, alright, okay. But yeah, I think that is everything. Thank you for watching.